What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. Last week, I saw The Girl with All the Gifts. It is a new zombie film from director Colm McCarthy, and it stars Gemma Arterton, Paddy Considine, Glenn Close, and Senya Nanua, who plays the girl with all the gifts. Now, with regards to the story, it is actually very familiar to me because there was this video game I played. It's called The Last of Us, and you play a male character, an adult male character, who has to protect this little girl, who looks like Ellen Page, by the way, and in her blood is the cure for the zombie plague. And the girl with all the gifts actually has a very, very similar story, because Senya Nanua plays that character. And so this movie isn't just about survival, but it's about saving the entire human race, but it all comes down to the survival of this one little girl, played by Senya Nanua, the girl with all the gifts. And Glenn Close is a doctor who believes that she can extract this cure from her blood, so they have to keep her alive. Paddy Considine plays this military guy whose mission is to protect everybody, and like the mission, which is to bring her from point A to point B. And Gemma Arterton plays the most human character, and all she cares about is the well-being of Senya Nanua's character. So we have a very, very interesting dynamic here. Now, when I watched the trailer for this film, I thought it was very, very interesting. You know, I like The Last of Us story, so bringing it into live action is pretty cool. But what made me feel like I wanted to watch this movie was mainly because not only is it a zombie film, but it just felt very, very different. It didn't feel like your typical, like, zombie slasher, like a film that isn't just about like typical zombies and just getting away from zombies and running away from zombies and zombies running at you and a lot of scary moments. It didn't feel like it was going to be a film like that. It felt like that it had more depth. And there are a lot of great zombie films out there, by the way, don't get me wrong. But what this actually felt like is like a 2-hour episode of The Walking Dead, but the episode actually ends. You know what I'm saying? It starts off like an episode of The Walking Dead that extends for a 2-hour running time, and then it finally ends. That's what this film is, and that's a good thing because The Walking Dead episodes are great. At least the episodes that I've seen, which is seasons 1 through 5 so far. But anyways, I don't want to go off topic. But I love The Walking Dead. I think they're really well-written stories, and what we have here is a very, very similar story. This film, in the first and second act, it really, the first act feels really, really weird. You're not even sure what kind of movie you're watching, just because it all seems very, very mysterious. Then in the second act, it starts moving forward a little quicker, just because we start to really see everything progress and the fact that they really, really need to survive. And then by the time we get to the third act, that's when things really, really get changed up in a very, very unexpected way. And I like that it went in a very, very different direction than what we're used to, but at the same time, I feel like it's almost a little bit too different for my taste. I went in with certain types of expectations, which is also kind of my fault, but I think that I prefer my zombie films to be a little bit more straightforward. And this is a film that really changes that. And I can't say that it's my cup of tea, but I will tell you that the change is nice. I understand why a lot of people like this film, but it's not your fast-paced type of zombie films where a lot of things just happen. There's definitely a huge like a human element and a more emotional element to this story, and a lot of people do really, really like this film for that, and I think it is good. But I felt that it's a film that I really, really wanted to see, I guess, more out of it in terms of being a zombie film. They just put a lot more depth into it than I would have liked. So it almost is a thought-provoking zombie film, because you come out of the theater talking more about it, which is a good thing, but like it almost like really makes you ask questions about like the meaning of it all, and I think that's a little bit too much for me for a film of this genre, in this genre. You know what I'm saying? But I liked a lot of the elements in this film. There's a lot of zombie elements, and like they changed things up a bit. But one of the things that I really like about it is that there are some really intense scenes. Some of these scenes, which they're trying to survive, are really quite intense, and you do care for the characters. The characters are quite well written, and you really want to root for their survival. You don't want to see them go, but there are those moments where you feel like, oh man, that's, I don't want to see him die. Don't die, please don't die. And then, something happens, right? So, there are those elements, but I think that the characters are well written. It's got a good story. It's a little bit not what I expected, but at the end of it all, they did make a good film because they changed a lot of, I guess, conventional zombie movie habits by doing what they did. And it does have a little bit more depth, but I guess I wanted more out of it. Or wanted less, maybe. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this episode, or rather this review. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. A 6.5 out of 10. I still think it's a good movie, and if you're really, really open-minded, you should really, really check it out, because it is something very, very different, but it might leave you... it might have you leaving the theater just going like, what the hell was that? Because that's how I felt after I left the theater. And it just made me want to talk about like, what did I just watch? Anyways, 6.5 out of 10. And there you have it. As always, if you enjoyed this review and you want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name's Alexi. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Good. I don't know if you guys liked it, but I liked it a lot. So... I wonder what he's going to bring to the table, and I'm pretty excited to see something fresh, because, I mean,